Okay, morning guys. Hope you're well. If you have something at home that you can use, just put underneath your back, sort of lift it up now when we start. That would be great. If not, it's okay to come into constructive rest. I'll still wait a minute or two, and see if anyone else joins. But if you do have something, you sort of want to place it at the base. Looks like it's steady so far, at the base of your bra strap, or sort of where a heart rate monitor would sit. And then you're going to lie over it. For those guys just joining on now, if you have a pillow or something at home that you can grab, it's easy to lie over. You just need to place one. Otherwise, if you don't have it, it's also okay. You can just lie down. It's just an easier way to start opening up the chest and opening up the shoulders. Just placing it just below the base of your spine, and when you go over it, you want to sort of land. That's where your heart rate monitor, or just under your scapula, your head will sit on the floor. You can either lift your legs up, or if you need to open up the hips, you can come into the Baddha-Konasana legs. Just finding a pose that suits you. Closing the eyes. Settling into the body this morning. Letting go of all expectation, anticipation. Allowing yourself just to be present. Starting to deepen the breath. You're looking for that sensation as if you're able to push your breath throughout the body. So you're creating a sense of lightness. Keep moving with that deep breath. Try making sure it's one you can maintain throughout the class. So you're looking about 3, 4, or 5 count holds. And then wherever you are, starting to bring your legs up if you've got Baddha-Konasana. Slowly moving your prop from underneath you. And just allowing the entire spine to settle on the ground. Just lying here for a breath or two. Then rolling over onto your baby. Placing the forehead onto the floor. We'll extend the left arm, no, right arm out to the right hand side. The left hand is in line with the face. So you want to find a 90-degree angle with your arm. And then bending into the left leg, rolling over, stepping down onto the left hand side. So you're opening up the shoulder, you're pushing into the left hand to roll you more onto your right hand side. So only going as deep as you need. You don't want to push too much. It's early in the morning. And then slowly coming out of it, rolling back onto your belly, bringing the right arm in, and then extending the left arm out to the side. The right arm now comes in line with your face, finding that 90-degree angle, and chaturanga arm, bending into the right leg, and then rolling over, trying to step that right foot on the left-hand side. Again, pushing into that right hand to roll you onto that shoulder a little bit more. Try to stop the left leg from collapsing, so keep it up, keep it strong. We're going to do one more on each side, and I'll show you another variation. It's a little bit deeper. Also stretches different muscles. And then slowly coming out of it, rolling onto your belly. Okay, so the other way you can do this pose is you can keep this arm flat on the ground, but try to make sure your elbows in line with your shoulder. And then you're going to place the left hand again 90 degrees and then bend into the left leg. So all you're doing is changing the position of your straight arm coming into a cactus shape. You'll feel the stretch change. Going more now down your arm. If this is too intense, rather come out of it and straighten the arm. Really pulls into those muscles. I find this pulls down into my pec a little bit and really deep into the shoulders. Also on the front side, with the arm straight, the back side of the shoulder. And then rolling back out of it. And then swapping over. Right hand in line with your face. Left hand comes into that cactus shape. Bending into the right leg. And then rolling yourself over. Oops. One side might be tighter or easier than the other. This side for me is a lot harder. But these scorpion twist variations are really good to try and do every morning, especially if you've got tight shoulders, working at your desk all day, even just from sport maybe. And then slowly releasing, coming back through center, coming onto your belly, tuck your toes under, and then slowly start to push up all the way, finding that tabletop shape, and then sitting back down, walking the hands up, Your toes are untucked. We don't need to stretch the fascia this morning. I won't torture you guys. Just sitting up nice and tall. Get those shoulders away from the ears. Move through a couple of shoulder rolls, so lifting the shoulders up and then rolling them backwards. Nice and slow. Looking for about 5 each direction. And moving with your breath as well. Inhale to lift, and then exhale to round down. And then once you've done 5 each direction, extend the arms out to either side. The other way, so then bashing the palm through. And stretching them out. Just holding it here. Move into arch your arms. So you're going to take the left hand, bring it above. So you want to place it between the scapulae. And then just take the right hand and push your hand down a little bit. But you don't want to collapse into your back or hyperextend it. So you keep your spine quite neutral. And then you can either stay here. So this is just enough for you. Stay here. If you'd like to try, we'll drop the right hand down, bring it around to meet the left. And today I don't want to interlace. Let's see, my body's not allowing. Nope. So if you can interlace, that's awesome. If you can't, you can either, depending on what top you're wearing, grab your fabric. You can even grab a tie or something just to hold on to get that pulling sensation. But you really want to make sure the most important thing here is that you're not doing this with your body or that. You're keeping your spine neutral. Your head is up. Your head is almost pushing into this left hand. Nice. And then slowly releasing the arms down to the side, stretching the fingertips down to the floor. And then we're moving over to the other side. So right hand up between the scapulae, left hand, use this to pull. And then you have the option to either stay here or drop the hand and see if you can interlace. Keeping the spine straight. We're working a lot into the shoulders today. So pinch your vinyasa play class or quick class. So if you do have pinch your vinyasa in your practice, and later when we get there and you want to move up into the full expression of the pose, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, we're just going to stay down, play, try to get some gravity time, some air time rather, and then release the hands down. So it's a forearm balance, it's feather peacock pose. It's quite a fun pose. And then hands in your lap if you want, dropping the forehead down, chin to chest, stretching the back, open neck. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, place the hands at the base of your skull, squeeze, move the elbows in towards each other. And then releasing the hands down, right ear, right shoulder, finding this stretch in the neck. Keep drawing the shoulders away from you, making sure there's no pain. And then inhale back up to center. And then exhale, drop over left ear, left shoulder. And then back up to center. Chin to chest, one more. Okay, you can bring your elbows up and in towards each other if you'd like to do some stretch. You bring your elbows together. Also feel as if you're pushing your scapula away from your body. Stretches into the shoulders as well. And then releasing the hands. Right ear, right shoulder. And completely change the stretch a little bit into the neck. Maybe you can wiggle into the jaw by just lightly tilting the chin up. These neck stretches are quite cool. Just a simple movement changes the whole stretch where you feel it. And then up to center. And then exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Finding those spots that need to stretch. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale, coming into tabletop. So getting those hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. You really want to make sure those hands are like starfish is the easiest way. So you can see your toes between your legs, just move them out. Your spine's neutral, so you're not dumping down or hyperextending. Keeping it nice and straight, pushing up through the shoulders. And then inhale, dropping the belly down, lifting the chest up, head drops back slightly, tailbone high to the sky, coming into cow. And then exhale, reversing the movement. Tailbone tucking in, pushing up through the scapulas if you want to try push them onto the ceiling, chin to chest, rounding up through the spine. Cat pose. And then inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. So back's quite tight this morning. You can also do some fluid movements, so just wiggling around, rocking forward and backwards. Just closing your eyes, moving however you need. Otherwise, you can carry a couple cat cows. And then coming to neutral back. Yeah, so you want to make sure now you've got some space. So you probably want to be at the back of your mat. You're going to drop onto the forearms. Extend the body out so you're on your belly. Toes are untucked. Your legs are about the hip width distance, maybe a little bit wider apart. You're on the forearms. Spread the fingers wide. Making sure the elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Coming to Sphinx pose. So now, we're not just hanging out here in this pose like we're lying on the beach. Only you're going to root down into your hands, so push through your hands and then pull the chest. So you want to feel as if you're almost trying to slide yourself through the body. So if you look carefully, you can see I move slightly as I start to pull. You'll feel it into the lower back. You keep pushing down into the hands. And then relax. Dropping the chin down towards the chest. And then inhale back up. And then find that pull. It's almost as if you're trying to draw those elbows towards the hips and the hips towards the elbows without actually moving. And the sensation of bringing your chest through those shoulders. And then relax. Okay, so now we've got Sphinx pose. You're going to come up, you're going to tuck your toes under, lift the knees off the ground, lift the thighs, and then see if you can push up into your forearm plank. And we're holding it here for a little while. You can shout and scream and swear at me for these plank holds. But just try to stay up. Notice where the mind takes you. Keep rooting those fingers down into the ground. Tuck the tailbone so you don't want your bum lifting up or dipping too low. And then walking the feet up a little bit. You're coming up into dolphin, but we're not going to go into full version just yet, or too deep into it. Walking the feet back, holding it there. And then dropping the knees down, thumb bone back onto the heels, forehead to floor, child's pose. And then tucking the toes, rooting the hands into the floor, lifting the knees slightly, and then rolling back up, lifting those hips into your down dog. Slowly start straightening those legs. If you're feeling a bit tight this morning, keep the knees bent. Otherwise, you can pedal the legs out. Inhale, look between the hands. Step the right foot, step the left foot, holding forward, Uttanasana. Depending on how you're feeling, either bend or straighten the legs. My hamstrings are very angry at me today, so it's Sunday, so I'm going to keep my legs bent. But you can also slowly start to straighten and bend into the legs as well. Making sure that back's nice and flat, even though you're folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hand, step back with the right foot, right knee down to the floor, untuck the toe. Inhale, lift the arms up, vinyasa, low lunge, sinking into those hips. Hands to the floor, tap the toe, lift the back knee, step back to plank, and then ripple back. Down dog. Look between your hands, step the left foot, step the right foot. Inhale, halfway lift, coming up onto those fingertips or hands to chin, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Stepping back with the left leg, dropping that left knee to the floor, untucking the toe. Inhale, lifting up, low lunge. So keeping that tailbone tucked. You don't want to think too much. Holding it there. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Tuck the back toe. Lift the left leg. Step the right leg back to plank. And then ripple back. Down dog. Look between the hands. Step the right foot. Step the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Grab opposite elbows, hang out and ragdoll. We're not doing too many sun salutations today, so there's one more on the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hand. Step the right foot back, drop that right knee down, untuck the right toe. Or you can keep it tucked. We're going to move, do a little bit of movement with breath. So you have an option here. So inhale, lift the arms up, sinking into that low lunge, vinyasa. And then as you exhale, Lowering the hands down, you're going to move the bum as if you want to sit back onto your heels, straightening into the left leg. I'm placing the hands on the floor, or you can hover them. You can flex into this left foot. And then inhale, back into your low lunge. And exhale, half Hanumanasana, half split. Inhale, back up. Last one. And then exhale, back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hold. Tucking under, of the left, right foot as you haven't already done. So lifting that back leg, coming up into your archer arms, up in your high lunge with archer arms. So you're going to take that right arm up, left arm down, and try to get that interlace. Hold it there. You want to lean back a little bit, slight back bend. And then releasing down, releasing the hands. Hands windmilling to either side of that left leg. Stepping back to plank. Rolling back, down dog. Step the right foot between the hands, step the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hold. Fold, sorry. Delicious English today. Okay, we're going to move through that classic sun salutation on each side. So stepping the right leg back, dropping the back knee, untucking the toe. Inhale, lift the hands up. I'm leaving out the vinyasa, isn't it? Just do. Preserve some energy. Hands to the floor. Tuck the toe, lift the back knee, step back to plank, roll back, down dog. Step the left leg, step the right leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the left leg, drop the back leg, untuck that left toe, foot. Sweep the hands, lifting up, vinyasa. Hands to the floor, tuck the toes, lift up, step back to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Okay, moving over to that Anjaneyasana, half split on the other side. Inhale up onto the fingertips. Exhale, folding down, stepping the left leg back, dropping the back knee down onto the floor. I don't feel like I've done that one. And then arms up, sinking down, Anjaneyasana. And then inhale, rolling back, or exhale, whichever feels good for you. Coming into that half Hanumanasana. And then inhale, draws you up. Exhale back. Inhale up. And then exhale back. Inhale up. And then as you exhale, just sinking down a little bit deeper into your Anjaneyasana. Tucking the back toe under, lifting up into that high lunge. And we're looking for the arch arms to the side, left arm from the top, right arm coming down below. Tuck the tailbone under, straighten that back leg if you can. If you are here, that's okay. And then if you found that slight back bend on the other side, you can gently lean back. Inhale back to center. And then windmill the hands on either side, stepping back to plank. And then rolling back, down dog. you need to drop into child's pose, that's also okay. Otherwise, we're just holding our down dog for 3 breaths. So rooting the hands into the floor, making sure the spines of your elbows are facing each other. Those armpits are closing off, so you're broadening across the upper back. Tailbones high to the sky, and the heels are drawing down to the ground. Inhale, come up onto those toes. I'll give you guys a moment, if you were in child's pose, to catch. So you're in down dog on your tippy toes. And then you're going to roll forward into plank. We're going to lift the right leg slightly, point the toes, holding it there, and then rolling over onto side plank, vinyasa, lifting the right arm up to the sky, holding it there, lifting up the right leg if you want to, and then you can even come into a wild thing, stepping the right leg behind you, and then opening up and lifting the chest. But this is optional. Coming back into your vinyasa, dropping the hand down to the floor, rolling back to plank, rippling back to down dog. And dropping onto your knees. If you have any props, I think I've done it with you guys, it's puppy stretch into the shoulders. If you guys do have any blocks, you can do this. Otherwise, you can try going over a pillow. But the version without it is keeping the knees underneath the hips. And then you're going to walk your hands down to the floor, forehead down. And then you want to interlace the hands, but keep the pointing fingers, the index fingers out, and the thumbs relaxed. And then you're going to bring those hands up towards your scapulae. So if you don't have any props, just stay here. If you do, that just helps to deepen the stretch. So if you've got blocks, you want to get the arms down onto them and then rolling those hands back. So we're just holding here for 5 breaths. Try as best you can to relax into it. Just scanning through the body. Just noticing where it's tight, where it's pulling. Just observing, no judgment, no dissecting, no analyzing. It's another really beautiful shoulder opener to be doing. You want to feel as if you're trying to melt that heart space down onto the floor. And then slowly coming out of it, releasing the hands, and then pushing back up. And then immediately coming back, getting those knees back underneath the hips. If you sort of shift it out, you're going to walk those hands out in front of you, dropping the chest down to the floor into puppy. So you do want to get the chest to the floor, but it's okay if it doesn't. Again, some days I can do this, other days I can't. I seem to have more days where I'm unable to do it. But you really want to focus on softening as best you can, relaxing a little bit more. Forehead or chin to the floor, whatever is more comfortable for you. So gradually with time, the more you do this, the more you relax into it, your chest will slowly start to lower down. And then coming out of it, Walking those hands back and coming into child's pose for a moment. And then lifting up into your down dog. Inhale, look between the hands, step the right foot, drop the back foot 45 degrees. And we're going to lift up into warrior two. So you just want to make sure you've got heel to arch alignment. So getting this right heel in line, so if you draw a line to the left arch, it'll work. And then windmilling, opening up warrior two. So you're bending into this right knee. The arms are out nice and straight. So you're really feeling as if you're pulling the arms from left to right. The shoulders are down and relaxed. Holding it there. Inhale, reach forward. Reach forward. Exhale, turn the palms. Hold as you inhale. And then exhale. Reverse to warrior. So keeping that right leg bent. Sink into a little bit more. Draw those shoulders away from your ears. And then coming out of it, straighten the right leg, hands to the hips, bringing that right foot in, so your toes are sort of facing inwards, hands on the hips, inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, slowly fold it down, wide-legged forward fold. So you have a choice here, you can keep your hands on your hips, if you don't want to go all the way down. Otherwise, hands underneath your shoulders. You can pistol grip your toes. This way just helps you to pull down a little bit more. So making sure your weight is forward, so you're not rocking back, you rather on the balls of your feet. Inhale, lift up the chest, and then exhale, pulling yourself down a little bit more. So constantly using your breath to go a little bit deeper. And then when you find that spot that's giving you just enough, staying there. And then releasing wherever you are, hands to the floor, underneath your shoulders. And then walking back. You're almost in your low lunge. Step back to plank. And then roll back, down dog. You can have a breath or two or three if you need. So either drop down into child's pose or stay in down dog. Down dog's supposed to be a resting pose. And then if you're in child's pose, slowly making your way back up to down dog. Moving over to the other side. Coming up high onto the tippy toes. And then rolling forward into plank. Keeping that tailbone tucked. Lifting up the left leg. Holding it there. And then rolling over onto that right edge of the right foot. Opening up, Vashisthasana. Oops. Side plank on the right hand side. You can lift the left leg. Making sure you're lifting up through that hip, you're not dumping into the shoulders. And then if you're doing the other side, step the left foot back, open up into that wild thing. And then coming back out of it into Vashisthasana, settling back into plank. Dropping the knees down to the floor. We're not going to do the shoulder stretch, we're just going to walk straight up into puppy. So walking those hands out in front of you. Maybe you've already got a little bit lower. Using your breath to just soften down. So as you inhale, find space, find length throughout the body. And then as you exhale, just relaxing into it as best you can. When I first started learning about this puppy dog pose, it used to make me feel so claustrophobic. And that's okay. You can come out of it if it's too much. And then walking the hands back up, tabletop, tucking the toes under, lifting up into your down dog. Inhale, look between the hands, step the left foot, drop the right foot, get that heel to arch alignment, and then opening up, warrior two. Sinking down into that left leg, finding that 90-degree angle. The gaze is over the left middle finger. Inhale, reach forward, and then exhale, turn the palm. Taking a big breath in. And then as you exhale, windmill, reversing the warrior. Keeping that base in the left leg. There's not too much weight in this right hand, so just gently resting onto the right leg. And then windmilling, opening up, hands to the hips, turning the feet, facing each other, facing inside, and turn around so that you don't have that bump in the face. And then folding down into that wide-legged forward fold. If you do have headstand in your practice and you'd like to move up into a straddle headstand, you may do so. Otherwise, just staying here. If you'd like to change it up, you can walk the hands back behind you, reaching back but leaning forward. Keep the weight in the balls of the feet. And then if you are in headstand, slowly making your way down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway. And then walk the hands back to the front of the mat. And then step the foot. So you'll be stepping your right foot to join your left foot at the top of your mat. Folding down into your Uttanasana. Heel toe your feet, but hip width distance apart, so 2 fists. And then just grabbing opposite elbows, coming into your ragdoll. Bending the knees a lot if you need to. Closing into the eyes. Allowing the head and the neck to be heavy. If you want to find some movement, you can. Otherwise, just finding stillness is also good sometimes. And then releasing the hands down to the floor. Bring the toes back together so your toes are touching, your ankles are slightly apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the right leg, foot back. Stay where you are. Inhale, lift the arms up, high lunge. And move into eagle arms just to stretch the shoulders out a little bit more before moving towards that pinch of leg. You can take your right hand down and underneath the left. You want to find it's like interlace or intertwine. So that the palms, let me just come out of it. So you can see, so your arms, the right arm comes under left. You want to get the palms eventually to touch down that way. But if you can only get there, then keep the hands a little bit high, demonstrating them. video. No one's back. Okay, right back. And then you want to lift up through those arms, push them away from your body. Right. Feel as if you're almost like rounding into scapulas, button activation. And then slowly leaning forward. You find about a 45-degree angle. You're going to lift that right leg up, weight is in the left, coming into balance, warrior three with eagle arms. Your foot stabilizes on the left, we're going to be going bonkers. And releasing the hands down to the floor, lifting that right leg up as high as you can. Even if you just want to stay there, that's okay. And then hands or foot back to the mat, step the left foot, roll back, down dog. Moving into dolphin before we go into pinch up, and then I drag my other half to come and help me. I'm still a bit scared to kick up by myself. So you're going to try to keep your legs where they are now. We're going to drop down into dolphin. It's part of the progression to pinchy. So you're just going to drop those elbows down to the floor. So staying where you are in your down dog. So you're sort of making this weird down dog shape. But keep making sure you're not dumping down into your shoulders, that you're constantly lifting up. So if you watch my shoulders, when I let go, I drop down. And then as soon as I activate, I lift back up. If this is where you want to stay here. If you'd like to, you can inhale and slowly start to step the feet, walking up as close as you can. Okay. So with pinchy, you want to, that sort of shape I was getting now with the dolphin, you're going to start to lift up the one leg, and then gradually we want to float up beautifully. But if that's too much for you, you can stay where you are. I'll show you what I mean with like leg kicks. Let's just worry about time, so we've got time for the other side. So walking the feet, you want to get those hips as high as you can, so almost getting the hips over the shoulders, lifting up the right leg, and then you're going to kick up if you want to. Otherwise, just stay here, lift the leg, place it back down. Lift the left, place it back down. Oh. Mike, can you come be a guinea pig? If you do have someone and you want to try and kick up, I strongly advise you kick up to someone or to a wall. I'm too nervous that I'll go through the glasses, the glass door. So I get my assistant husband. He's very good at being an assistant. Step back a little bit, please. So, oh, that's fine. Okay, so you're going to get the arms down, lifting up the legs, walking the feet, and and when your body just doesn't want you to do what it does, there we go. No, okay, so thank you. Normally you can let go and I'll hold a little bit, but I think I'm quite tired today. But that's sort of your aim. Whew. And if you finish playing with pincher, dropping back down into your child's pose. So there's quite a lot of fun. You just got to make sure there's no obstacles, especially if you're trying to kick up into it. You want to find a float. That's been my lockdown pose by the end of all this. And I try to do pinchy without any support. So it's a nice progression pose to learn to get up into handstand as well. And then tucking the feet under, lifting up into down dog. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, side out. Look between the hands, step, jump, flip, fly to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stepping back with the left leg, keeping it there. Inhale, lift the arms up. high lunge. Okay, so this time we're going to take, I can't remember which arm I did. I think I did the right arm under, so the left arm coming under the right arm. And we're coming into our high lunge with eagle arms, lifting up the arms, the forearms as if they're going up towards the sky. Your gaze is up at your fingers. Push through the scapulae. And then inhale, lean forward. And then slowly transfer the weight. Coming up, warrior 3 with eagle arm. Releasing the hands down to the floor. Lifting the left leg as high as you can if you want. And then stepping the left leg back down to the back of your mat. Right leg meets in plank. And then ripple back, down dog. Okay, so if you'd like to try again, you have another chance. Try with the other leg kicking up. So one leg generally stronger than the other. Otherwise, just dropping down onto the elbows or the forearms. Hold your dolphin. The other thing you can do if you also don't want to kick up into pinchy, you can do forearm planks and pushing up into a normal plank, coming down onto the forearms. So there's quite a few exercises you can do to strengthen the body to get up into it. Another thing you can do with your dolphin, if it is a bit much, you can bring your hands together, interlace them. You want to make sure if you're grabbing opposite elbows, that's your distance, even for the guy kicking up into pinchy. Tap the toes under and then walk the feet. Might feel like you're a little bit more stable. Lifting out of the shoulders. And then you can lift the right leg. Lift the left leg. You can also hold the block if you have. So often just using our props, it gives us a little bit more support and stability. So the props aren't bad. I use them most days in my own practice. They also help you just get a little bit deeper. Okay, so if you've had enough pincher play, coming into that child's pose, forehead to the floor, feet back to heels. You can bring the arms behind you, grabbing the feet so that the arms can have a nice break. Closing the eyes. And taking a couple deep breaths in and out through the nose. Really noticing the belly touch your thighs as you breathe in. Blowing it up. And as you breathe out, drawing that navel back towards your spine. So you're constantly finding space with your breath. And then walking the hands out in front of you, as if you're drawing a line with your nose on the mat, pulling through onto your belly. Just taking a moment. Otherwise, you can place your hands underneath your forehead, coming into crocodile. Just shimmy the hips from side to side. It might help release the lower back. And then rolling over onto your back. Extending the right leg down to the floor. And then drawing the left knee in towards the chest, grabbing just below the base of the knee, pulling it in. Don't feel as if you're pulling the left knee in towards your armpit. And then taking the right hand on the outside of the left knee. We're going to twist over to the right hand side. Gazes over the left hand. So really making sure you're rather keeping the shoulder on the floor than getting the knee to the floor. If you click this okay, maybe it's what you needed. And then inhale draws you up. And exhale, hold, relaxing down. And then extending the left leg down to the floor. Bringing the right knee in towards the chest, hugging it in. Again, drawing it in towards the armpit. And then left hand on the outside of the right knee. Right arm out to the side, gaze over the right hand. And then slowly dropping that knee over to the left. The stretch, I'm guaranteed to kick my back almost every time. It seems to just click in all the right places. So if you need to stretch high up the spine, bring the knee up higher, but today for lower back, keep it quite low. And then inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, just settling the foot down to the floor. Drawing the left leg up. And then bringing both knees in towards the chest, grabbing below the base of the knees. Inhale, pull them in. Say, come down to the floor, flexing into the feet. Wind release. Exhale, slowly release the legs. And then inhale, draw them back in. Exhale, release. Inhale, back in. Exhale, release. And then bringing the hands through the middle of the knees. Grabbing the outside of the feet. Lifting the legs, coming into your happy baby. So again, making sure that sacrum still drawing down onto the floor. So you're not rounding up, pushing back down. So it's almost as if your entire spine is on the floor. You can lift the head and then slowly peel it back down. It just feels a little better getting the full neck. Having a slight chuck of the chin also helps getting the neck up to the floor. And if you want, you can find some movement rocking from side to side. And then slowly lowering the feet onto the floor. Whatever last final movements you need before Shavasana. If you want a windscreen right to the legs, just dropping from left to right, you can. Otherwise, finding a pose that suits you. So you can stay where I am in constructive rest, dropping down into Supta Baddha Konasana, or otherwise traditional Shavasana. Left foot, left corner, right foot, right corner. Palms are up. Closing into the eyes. Letting go of that controlled breath. Just letting go of your practice. Try not to think about the day ahead. Try to calm the thoughts. Allowing them to float on by. Letting your body do the work, integrating the practice. Try finding as much stillness as you can, not wiggling or fidgeting. Allowing the body to relax. Melting down into the earth. Feeling the support of the mat or ground beneath you. Seeing if you can let go even more. Allowing the body to completely relax. Slowly begin to deepen the breath. Bring awareness back into your body. Gently moving the thumb across the fingertips. Bringing sensation of touch back. And then whatever variation you are in, just extending the legs out in front of you. You want your feet together. Inhale, drawing the arms up. And then as you exhale, letting them fall behind you. And then inhale, stretching from fingertips to toe tips, reaching as far and long as you can. And then exhale, side out. Relaxing the body down. Drawing the knees up in towards the chest. Rock from side to side. And then landing on the right hand side into a fetal position. Using your right arm as a cushion to cradle the head. While you're here, just take a moment to think of 3 things that you are truly grateful for. Can be anything. Small, large. Maybe even to you, you think it's insignificant, but it means something. It's really good to have a daily gratitude practice. Every morning when you wake up, think of 3 things you're grateful for. You can either write them down if you journal, or just stating them to yourself 3 times. We often forget what we're grateful for and what we have. And keeping your eyes closed, slowly start to push up. Coming to sit. And Sukhasana, easy seat. Placing the hands where it's comfortable for you, palms down to feel the energy, palms up to receive. Or just simply placing them in your lap. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale, side out. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Really try letting it out, even making noise. So you're just letting go of what no longer serves you. Inhale through the nose. And then side out. Bringing the hands to heart center. Dropping the forehead down towards the fingertips, chin to chest. An absolute pleasure guiding each of you this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I'll see you again on your mat soon. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Holiday.